Welcome to Now Go Lead, the podcast where we help you level up your leadership in just 5 minutes. Each episode, we provide inspiring stories and actionable insights to help you lead with confidence and clarity. Whether you're a seasoned leader or just starting out, our goal is to give you the tools and motivation to level up your leadership game. You know what? It's not easy. Do I have to be me? Sylvia Plath once said, "It's a hell of a responsibility to be yourself. It's much easier to be somebody else or nobody at all." If you know even a little about Sylvia's life, you know that it was difficult. She had a traumatic childhood and a tumultuous marriage. She suffered from bouts of serious clinical depression and ultimately took her own life at just 30 years old. It's a sad story, especially given her gift for poetry and writing. It seems that much of the expression of her talent was an attempt to try and make sense of the many ills that plagued her existence. As I was considering her story, I began to think of others I've known along their own leadership journey. Why is it so difficult to accept who we are? And why do we let it keep us from moving forward to our vision? I once knew a man who, on the surface, seemed to have it all together. On the personal side, he had 30 years of marriage to the same woman, 3 grown children, and a couple of grandkids to boot. Professionally, he was an integral part of a business team and considered a competent leader by many. I started coaching this man as he was preparing for the next step in the prime of his career. He was being offered an ownership stake in the company where he was employed, and if it worked out as he planned, he would have a secure financial future and a solid roadmap for the rest of his career. It took some time to uncover, but eventually it became clear to me that there was quite a bit going on beneath the surface of this carefully polished facade. His marriage was actually quite a mess, whereby he suffered regular emotional and sometimes physical abuse from his spouse, yet he couldn't, or perhaps wouldn't, leave out of guilt and fear. As our coaching sessions continued, it became clear that this one relationship dominated every waking moment of his life. It dictated where he could go, who he was allowed to talk to, especially female coworkers, and it had effectively become a prison. He once commented to me that the only place he felt he was his true self was within the confines of his office. He had developed a lifestyle whereby he adopted one persona during work and another at home. So we eventually had to have a hard conversation. Essentially, the path forward meant deciding who he was going to be and making that his one and only true self. Ownership in the company would mean breaking down the barriers he had built between his work and personal life. It might even lead to the dissolution of his marriage. On the other hand, if he chose to stay in the codependent relationship, he wouldn't be able to satisfy the demands of the higher levels of leadership required at the next step of his career. It was a really pivotal moment, and it all predicated on the answer to the question, do I have the courage to be my one true self, even despite all the ugliness that may come along with the decision? Think about this for 5 minutes. What are the parts of your life that you've been unwilling to acknowledge as barriers to future growth? What sacrifices are you going to have to make in order to get to the next level? So I know you're probably wondering about the rest of the story. In the end, he decided to stay in the bad relationship. He eventually left the company in pursuit of another opportunity, and to this day, I'm not even sure where he ended up. Nevertheless, his story is a testament to the fact that you can't lead for long with a bifurcated life. You must decide to commit heart, mind, and soul to the vision and be willing to make the very painful sacrifices required along the way. It's time to now go lead. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Now Go Lead. Join us next week as we cover a brand new leadership topic and help you level up your leadership in just 5 minutes. For more resources, tips, and inspiration, visit our website at nowgolead.com. You can also connect with us on Instagram at nowgolead and on LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more leaders like you. Also, don't forget to share this podcast with your colleagues and friends who are on their own leadership journey. Now Go Lead is produced by HP Engineering Studios in beautiful Northwest Arkansas. Now go lead.